Want to know a funny stat? LeBron James has played in 1,915 games in his career. Out of those 1,915 games, his total career averages are 27, 7, and 7. It's one of the rarest and most dominant career stat lines that we've seen by an individual player. It's the model of consistency, and it's a testament to how dominant LeBron's been in his Hall of Fame career. With a stat line like this, you would assume LeBron would at least have one game in his career where he has finished with the legendary 27, 7, and 7 stat line. But you'd actually be wrong, because in LeBron's 23-year career, LeBron has never had a game in his career where he's finished with the legendary 27, 7, and 7 stat line. It's one of the weirdest and strangest occurrences we've seen in NBA history, but it's an NBA stat that is actually true. LeBron has, however, gotten very close to achieving this stat line, like in a game versus the Suns at the end of the 2026 season, where he would put up 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists, barely missing the mark. Or in a game versus the Blazers in 2022, where LeBron had exactly 27, 7, and 7 with 30 seconds to go in the game. It was bound to happen. The insane 27, 7, and 7 stat line was about to happen until LeBron would hit a meaningless three at the end of the game to push the stat line to 37 and 7. It's been one of the cooler and weirder facts of NBA history. Despite LeBron averaging 27, 7, and 7, he's never finished a game with that stat line. Even crazier, in games where he's 1 point away or 1 rebound away, he's usually multiple assists away or vice versa. It's one of the craziest stats that the league has ever seen. Would achieving this stat line add to LeBron's build case? Maybe. Would achieving this stat line be one of the most impressive feats of his career? Absolutely. However, nobody seems to care about it, because at the end of the day, these are useless NBA stats. Have you ever wondered how NBA history would look like if the NBA playoffs were March Madness styled? Well, I have. So I decided to create my own data to see who the last 16 NBA champions would be if we followed the format of March Madness. This means, instead of a traditional 7-game series as the NBA does, every series is now only one game. If you win, you move on. You lose, and your season is over. For the instances where the bracket does change, we'll just take the winner of their first matchup in the regular season to see who ends up moving on in this March Madness format. Let's first start off with the 2025 playoffs. In the 2025 playoffs, if every first round series was a single elimination style, then the second round matchups would remain the same, no changes on either side. If we continued using this format, we would again get the same matchups in the conference finals, and if we did this format again, well, we would end up with the same finals matchup. However, this time, instead of OKC coming out on top, it would actually be Indiana, who would become our new 2025 NBA champions. If we did this exact format for the past 16 champions, we'd see that a lot of NBA history has changed. Our Carmelo Anthony-led Nuggets would get a ring in 2010, while LeBron gets a ring earlier in 2011, but the Heat do not repeat as champions, as the Chicago Bulls in this new format would finally capture a championship, as Derrick Rose's legacy looks a lot different with a championship on his finger. In this timeline, the Warriors from 2015 to 2017 would become only the 6th team in NBA history to three-peat as champions, completely erasing the 3-1 comeback in 2016 that was so pivotal to LeBron's legacy. The Boston Celtics with a young Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown would capture the title in 2018, as the Jays would have captured their first title a lot sooner than they actually did. The Kevin Durant Nets would capture a championship in 2021, completely erasing Giannis's iconic 2021 playoff run. And lastly, Jimmy Butler would capture his first championship in 2022 instead of the Warriors. NBA history would be completely different. New all-time greats finally get a taste at holding championship gold, while other players' legacies look a lot worse and weaker compared to the actual results. So much of NBA history would look different, and it's crazy to even think about. However, this didn't actually happen. These results never happened and are never gonna happen. These results will always remain as a what if, and we will never know if these would have happened if we ended up using the March Madness format, which is exactly why This is a useless NBA stat. However, something that is not useless is the slam dunk. The slam dunk has been a staple of the game since its infancy, and is one of LeBron's favorite moves. The slam dunk has given LeBron James a lot of his points in his Hall of Fame career. To be exact, out of 2,333 dunks that LeBron has made in his career, these dunks would convert to 4,666 points. Out of LeBron's 43,000 points, LeBron's 2,333 dunks would convert to only 10% of LeBron's total career points. It's a stat that most people don't know or simply don't care about. LeBron in his career has been labeled as a rim-running machine and as a one-way type of player, but even when you take away all of LeBron's points that are counted as career dunks, LeBron would still have 38,774 points. The craziest part about this stat is, even when you take away those points, he is still the NBA's all-time leading scorer by 400 career points. Even if you take away one of LeBron's greatest skills and forms of getting baskets in his career, he would still be the NBA's all-time leading scorer by a pretty narrow margin. It's insane to say the least. For the people who say that LeBron can only score because of his insane athleticism and ability to dunk the ball, you're insane. However, we already knew this. We already knew that LeBron is a jack of all trades. He's one of the most dominant and greatest players that we have ever seen. As LeBron has gotten older and has started to lose his athleticism, he tends to use his post game and a back to the basket type of style with a little bit of finesse in order to get his points now, and he's still been able to dominate at an elite level even 23 years deep into his career. But why would LeBron not take the easy dunks in his career? And why would LeBron pass up easy opportunities to get more points in his career? It doesn't make any sense, which is exactly why it's another useless NBA stat. However, the three-point shot hasn't been useless for Steph Curry. The three-point shot has been the deadliest shot in Curry's arsenal since he entered the league in 2009. Curry in his career has made 4,248 three-pointers. That equals out to 12,744 career points just off of three-pointers alone. The narrative for Curry's career has always been that he wouldn't be nearly as great as he is if he didn't rely on the three-point shot. But just how true is this statement? Well, I decided to remove all the points that Curry has made in his career that have been counted as three-point shots. In Curry's career, he is currently 19th place all time in career points with 26,528 points. If you were to remove all of Curry's points that were counted as three-pointers, he would be only left with 13,784 career points. Almost half of Curry's points would be removed from his career if you just removed the one skill that has single-handedly been his bread and butter for his entire career. The drop-off is significant to say the least, and it would drop him from 19th on the scoring list all the way down to the 222nd spot all time, sandwiched in between players like Peja Stojakovic and Bill Laimbeer, putting him down there with some of the least dominant scorers that this game has ever seen. It's crazy to say the least. Maybe the narratives were right. Maybe Curry wouldn't be as good as he was if he didn't rely on the three-point shot. However, if you make this claim, you're crazy. If you took away any player's greatest ability of scoring, their rankings on the all-time scoring list would eventually plummet. If you take away LeBron's ability to drive inside and dominate inside the paint, he wouldn't be the NBA's all-time leading scorer. If you took away Kobe's ability to hit the fadeaway at an elite clip, he wouldn't be top 4 all-time on the NBA's all-time scoring list. If you take away a player's single greatest attribute of their game that is their bread and butter to get points, their all-time point total would take a massive drop. So yeah, Curry wouldn't be nearly as great as he is if you took away his greatest attribute of scoring the ball. But at the end of the day, this doesn't matter because these are useless NBA stats. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing. I drop videos like this every week, and your support would be greatly appreciated. Also, I just wanted to say, LeBron is the GOAT.